This is gonna be kind of an awkward video to make, but I feel like this is something that needs to be said. So today I would like to send a message to cheaters, to anyone that feels like they need to do that, to anyone that feels like their action doesn't affect other people, to anyone thinking about cheating, anyone that has cheated and doesn't want to say anything, and also anyone that's been cheated on. This topic is something that I don't think is talked about enough. I think it's a huge deal. I think the media, TV, movies, all kinds of music, they totally like glorify the topic of cheating and how it's cool to have multiple girls or boys, and how it's cool to be sneaky with the person that you're dating, and how it's cool to have sex with everyone and not to stay faithful to the person you're with. That's not cool. It's cool to be faithful. It's cool to love only one person. I don't know if you know, but the definition of a couple is two. Two people, not four, not seven, it's two. I have been cheated on, my boyfriend's been cheated on, my best friend's been cheated on, a lot of my other friends have been cheated on. It's just not okay how common it is, even in my own circle, and I'm sure in your own circle too. This is nothing personal to the person that cheated on me. I've already forgiven them and moving on, but I just think that people need to know how their actions affect other people's lives, especially if you had dated that person at one time. You obviously cared about them at least enough as a human being that you wouldn't want to hurt them in the way that you've hurt them. So I just want to shed some light on what it really does to a person when they are cheated on. When you're dating someone, you love them and you love all of them, and sometimes you love them so much that these red flags, them cheating on you, these red flags, you look past them because you love them so much. And to be a faithful person in an unfaithful relationship is probably one of the most hurtful things that you can be in. And I'm not talking marriage because I have no experience with marriage, but dating, it's really hard to find out that the person you've been faithful to for years or months or however long you've been together, and tells you every day that they love you and tells you every day that they would never do anything to hurt you. When you find out that they have, there's like no way to explain how that feels. It takes your breath away. It feels like someone just stabbed you in the stomach, but at the same time, it's oddly like you lose all attraction for that person because now they're not who you thought they were. They've been lying to your face. They've been saying these things to you that they don't mean, and it's super hurtful. And on top of that, if other people know the situation and aren't telling you, you also kind of lose trust in your friends who haven't told you. It just really messes with your mind. It messes with your ability to trust people. It messes with your perception of love. So my message to any cheaters out there is, if you're considering or think it's cool to cheat on someone that you're dating, if you care about them as a human being enough to like not want to screw up their perception of love for however many years it takes them to get over it afterwards, just break up with them. If you're trying to sleep around with other people, break up with that person so they're not at least being lied to. At least they'll know the truth, and you can go do whatever you want with whoever you want once you've broken off that relationship. But there should be no such thing as sneaking behind the back of someone that you love to do one little act of lust that's gonna please you for however long and mess up that person's life for however long. What happens to the person that's cheated on afterwards is now they don't trust anyone. You got to just mess around with other people, lie, be with the person you loved, and when you break up or stay together or whatever, you're all fine and dandy because you've just done everything you wanted. That person that stayed faithful to you now is screwed up in the mind. They don't know how to trust people again. Their future relationships are confused. Sometimes it can cause issues in future relationships, trusting even the person that they're dating next, even if that person's a faithful person. You've just screwed up their perception of love and what it means to trust someone. That's just not worth it for you to sleep around with Susan one time just because you think she's hot. Break up with your girlfriend and sleep with Susan, or vice versa. Break up with your boyfriend if you want to mess around with this other guy. Don't hurt him in the process just because you're being selfish. And my message to anyone that's been cheated on, that's not your worth. That's not your value. However that person treated you is not how you deserve to be treated. If there was an issue in the relationship and they're using that as an excuse, there's never an excuse to cheat. So they could have brought it up and you could have talked about it and worked it out. It's not your fault that they were unfaithful. That's totally their problem. But at the same time, I would say forgive them. Forgive them right away, and that's the easiest way to move on, is to not hold a grudge to that person. Obviously, you deserve better if they're gonna lie to you and be unfaithful. You don't want to be in that kind of relationship anyway. You just need to know your worth. You need to know that you do deserve someone to love you. you do deserve someone to treat you right in a relationship. And this is obviously different from married couples. I've never experienced that, and it's a little bit more serious. But if you were just dating, you will find someone again that will love you and actually love you and be honest with you. You just need to hang around the right people, pick the right person. Just know that it's not your worth. Forgive them, forget about them, let that relationship stay in the past, because you deserve better anyway. Ultimately, if you're staying faithful and you did what you could do, that's all you could do. You can't help how someone else acted. I hope someone enjoyed that video, and just know that if you've been cheated on, you're not alone. And if you've cheated on someone, it doesn't have to end. If you really made a mistake, like the sooner you tell them, the better, because that person could still, you could still work it out and they could forgive you. I do believe in second chances, but I also do believe that some people never change. Just know your worth and know your relationship. It's different for every relationship. I just want people to know how much it affects the other person when they're making a selfish decision. If you care about that person, you might not want to stay dating them, but if you care about them as a human being, which obviously you did at one point if you started dating them, break up with them first before you start messing around. It's just not worth messing with their heart and their trust, because then it affects their future relationships. And I have noticed that it's affected my future relationships, and I don't think it affects them forever, but it definitely causes problems that should have never been a problem, except that someone messed up in the past. But it's not the end. I don't think that your relationship has to necessarily end if someone messes up. I do think that you can work through it. But also, if you've been cheated on, it's not the end of the world. You will find someone that loves you one day. Just stay positive and hang around the right people, and I hope you have a good day, and thank you for watching. Bye! Oh, and if you like this video, like and subscribe down below. If you didn't like it, just exit out. And if you don't want to subscribe, I'm not that offended, but only kind of, but not really that offended. So thanks for watching. Okay, bye.